Hi, Romesh Shivasto here, Editor-in-Chief Site Seekers. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Please do subscribe this for the HR news, for HR updates and conversation with the top-notch CHROs. The agenda for today's discussion is the hiring trends for 2023. So if you look at 2022, it has been the year of disruptions. We have seen the surge in hiring. We have seen rising attrition. We have seen the great resignation. We have seen the high candidates dropout, etc. Though the attrition has started coming down, but still the finding right candidate is not easy. To discuss in detail about the hiring trends for 2023, we have a diversified panel. Let me introduce Mr. Vikram Nayak. He is head marketing at L&T EduTech, and earlier he has been into the human resources and talent acquisition role, and he has experience in manufacturing, EPC, and IT sectors. Another panelist is Hina Dhamija. Hina is currently working as head human resources with the Religare working, and she has rich experience in banking, finance, and broking sector. Our next eminent panelist is Ms. Janani Prakash. Janani is working as head HR at Quantela Inc., and she has experience in IT, consulting, and technology sectors. So, Vikram, if I come to you first, what do you think? What are the hiring challenges for 2023?
Thank you so much, Romesh. Thank you for this opportunity. First of all, season's greetings to you and New Year greetings to all the viewers who are watching this particular conversation. Coming to the hiring challenges in 2023, first I would like to tell that today it is a new VUCA world. The VUCA jargon has been getting changed every year. So today, earlier, the C stands for Corona. Today, in VUCA, it is volatility, U for Ukraine war, C for coronavirus, and A for ambiguity. So a new term which has emerged in 2022 is the Ukraine war. Earlier, it was coronavirus in the VUCA. Now it's Ukraine war. So all these geopolitical things are going to make a lot of difference and bring a lot of challenges in hiring in 2023. Coming to the most important thing, in the sourcing part, what kind of sourcing will happen in 2023? I feel due to these geopolitical changes, there will be imbalance between supply and demand. Earlier, there was less of supply and more of demand. Today, in 2023, it will be less of demand and less of supply and more of demand, which was there earlier. It will change, it will reverse. There will be lot of forced resignations or layoffs, mass layoffs will happen. In 2022, you are talking about great resignations and moonlighting, which took center stage or which were talk of the town. In 2023, it will be mass layoffs. It will be more of people volunteering and moving out of a lot of tech jobs will be redundant due to the crisis, global crisis. So in the sourcing part, there will be a lot of profiles which will be available. Earlier, there was no high demand of skills and less supply. Now it will be the reverse trend. So people will be depending more on job portals and job sites like what you used to do. There won't be many recruitment through consultant or hiring agents, because there will be people who will be volunteering, will be asking for jobs. They will be seeking jobs. Lot of on-site jobs will come back to India and other countries like Philippines, Bangladesh, China, and other economies. So jobs from Europe and UK will migrate here. So sourcing will be kind of a little easier in that sense. Coming to selections, the challenge will be to get the right candidate, because all of a sudden there will be surge of a lot of profiles and talents available in the market. So organizations have to be extremely careful choosing the right talent, whether in terms of hiring CXO level or mid level or junior level. There will be a lot of background verification, and uh, the person's credibility and competence will be checked, reviewed thoroughly. Because earlier there used to be no video interviews, video calls, and all. Now the jobs will come back to offices, so the organization would like to see their senior candidates or top talents or important candidates to come to office and see. So there will be a lot of transparency required, and in terms of selection, they will be extremely careful to whom hire, because it is going to be very critical, because a lot of jobs will be redundant. That is why if you don't choose and pick the correct talent, it won't happen. And finally, the attraction. Even the talents will be very much particular about the organization they will be joining. The challenge will be they will see at organizations which are uh, long-term basis, which are rock solid companies, good balance sheets, uh, who are not fly-by-night companies. So the talent will be seeing organizations who are going to be solid and for long term, because there will
Right.
be a lot of volatility. So these are the initial hiring challenges which organizations as well as the talents will be facing in 2023.
Right. And generally, how do you see the challenges in IT industry in coming year?
So, I would first of all agree to many of the points that Bikram just pointed out. I do think that the demand supply equation will go through a significant change. However, there will be a lot of positions that will still be open, and they will be open due to the skill mismatch between the available pool of talent and the skills that are needed for the jobs to be done. Especially in the IT industry, the shelf life of every skill is shrinking very rapidly, and there is very less time for organizations to skill up people as well. On the other hand, there is also this constant fear of staying relevant that people are going through. In fact, one of the reasons why I think many are trying to do moonlighting and all that is one side, yes, they want to stay relevant too, in addition to the other reasons, right? Relevance because they might have learned a skill through any online tool, but they do not have a hands-on opportunity in the current organization. So I think definitely from a hiring perspective, challenges will continue to exist for specific skills that are very upbeat, that are very new in nature, that will be very futuristic. For example, the artificial intelligence, machine learning, any digital skills. So metaverse is picking up, blockchain is taking up a new form overall. I think these are technologies we will need to definitely focus on in terms of upskilling, reskilling. More than anything, cloud is another big skill that we need to focus on. Because of cloud becoming so huge and it has penetrated into almost all the industries, cybersecurity is taking another new avatar, if I may call, because cloud security is becoming very important. So these are my initial thoughts, Ramesh, but I will pause to respond further if you have any questions.
What is your take if we talk about the finance and this banking sector? How do you see the hiring challenges in coming year?
So, Ramesh, I second to Bikram and Janani in terms of the highlight they have shared upon the demand and supply. Certainly, the balance is going to change and having a reverse situation this time. Nevertheless, the hiring challenges will be there, but they may vary differently. So I would like to add on and give some example, adding on to what Bikram and Janani has shared. Like last year, it was more around, we were waiting in terms of the team to join. People were having a counter offer, but this year, especially, the scenario is going to change. The employees would like to see the appraisal cycle within the current organization. So the trend for the counter offer will certainly stop. And this may lead to the skill mismatch, what Janani has rightly mentioned. We would see the reverse trend. Another trend, which we have started already seeing it in the late 22, 23, it will going to continue, is about the layoff. The more of hiring numbers and the peak offers in terms of the compensation, in terms of the role, what we have seen in IT, it will going to be reverse of the side. We would see now the layoffs happening in many of the industries, IT and more. Plus, one more trend, if I talk about now, since there will be a skill dearth into the specific industry, as an organization and candidates, they may look at moving across the industry as a skill to look at. So
Yeah,
these are
thank
the
you.
insights.
Yeah, thank you. Generally, what I have learned last year from the many CHROs when I discussed about the challenges, they also pointed out, especially if we talk about the IT industry and tech industry. So finding the right talent, that has been challenged in 2022. And if I refer a report by the LinkedIn, so that report says that around 70% candidates are the passive candidates. And even if we also little go in detail about the report, then it says that the senior candidates, they are more serious about the recruitment process, their commitments. But when we talk about the middle level roles and talk about the junior level roles, then their engagement is very important. So, Janani, how do you see how we can motivate the passive candidates and how we can engage these junior and middle level candidates? Janani.
Yeah, sure. So maybe I will take several steps back and provide a perspective of how the entire talent landscape is changing in the last few years. About 7-8 years back, the entire industry was doing this study on Gen X, Gen Z, and Gen Y, all these different generations and how the needs of the different generations will vary. And basis that, how should we be modifying? We all used to do those studies few years ago. And just in the last 3 to 4 years, I'm seeing that most of them have already come into reality. As we speak, we are talking about almost 50% of Gen Z, the ones that are born in late 90s, to be entering or they have already entered the industry. And those are the ones who we are trying to attract. But we are also in a very unique positioning, saying we want people in the 30s, we want people in the 40s and the 50s as well, because maybe the older generation of the workforce brings in wisdom, while the middle generation brings good leadership skills and managerial skills and the depth of product knowledge, if it is in IT or in any other sector, right? Now, it's in our hands as HR leaders and CEOs to look at how do we make a very renewed employee value proposition to be able to attract any of these candidates, if they are passive or active, whatever the case may be, how do we attract? Now, because I have laid the context right now, maybe I will go one step down right now to say how benefits for these generations could vary. For example, companies have started talking about adoption leave. This came last year, but then recently pet leave, menstrual leave. There are varieties like this that are newly coming up, right? Then if you look at it, parental care has taken a new shape altogether. It used to be the case in very matured economies in the past, but then in the last 3 years or so, parental care is the heightened need. So benefits is now taking a different shape again. Similarly, the kind of job requirement that people are looking at, some are looking at stability, some are looking at how will I stay relevant for the next 10 years. So different generations require different things. Now, organizations are in a unique position to say, how can they create bouquet of opportunities for people to pick and choose basis what is viable for them, what is relevant for them. Let's say I am in my early 20s, my need could be very different when compared to somebody who is in their late 30s versus somebody in their early 50s. piece. But as an organization, we should set cost for benefits, we should set cost for different things, but give bouquet of options so that people are able to pick and choose what they want. If we're able to do this, I think employer branding starts much before candidates are being actively pursued by us. I think they will be passive, they are watching all of this, and then slowly they will convert to active the moment we are trying to open up for opportunities. Another last thought I will leave it, Romesh, and then take a pause is, I think there have to be a lot of efforts that organization will need to put as if employees are customers, because we are in a very tight marketplace. Now, efforts could be in terms of exhibiting who we are as an organization, exhibiting what benefits we offer, what kind of work gets done, how do people become their better self in this organization, how can career development happen, how does longevity work in an organization, how is flexibility, etc., through different means. We could use technology for this, or we could use hackathons to give them a hands-on experience of tech, etc. I think we have to become very creative more than ever before. That's my shortest last liner, if I may say.
My question is that the diversity, that is the top priority now for all the organizations across all the sectors as well. If I say that in your industry, in your finance and your banking sector, broking industry as well, so how do you manage to get the diverse candidate? How do you manage to have the diverse pool for this? And especially if we talk about the underrepresented talent.
So, Ramesh, when we talk about the diversity, yes, diversity and inclusion is the topic which we are seeing, past few years trending, and the companies have given a serious focus about it. So far at us, at Religare, if we would like to highlight in terms of diversity and inclusion, I would like to go back and firstly touch upon before I touch on the diversity and inclusion, the health and well-being. When we talk about diversity and inclusion, it is important as an organization, and we at Religare are focusing on including such kind of the acceptance of well-being of the employees, and taking care and considering all the employees around in the inclusivity who have been the part of the employee wellness in any way. So if I could treat this in terms of the inclusions, nowadays the inclusion from the employee and from the organization, we at the financial sector and Religare, that somebody who is having some mental concern, it may be through A to Z any reason, so we at an organization has taken a stand to have inclusivity around the basic things. So this is there. If I talk about the other aspects of diversity and inclusion in terms of the number, we are focusing on.
Let us focus only for the hiring part here, diversity in hiring part. So Vikram would like to add here something in 1 minute.
Yeah, this is an opportunity to have more inclusive and diverse
How you
organization
can have the
across the
diverse
sector.
pool? That is very important. How you can have the diverse pool to what you need to do to have the diverse pool, talent pool.
See, today, earlier we are focusing mostly in the metro cities. Okay, most of the organizations, corporate offices will be in the metro cities. Now, after the pandemic, they have made satellite offices in smaller cities and all. So that made an opportunity to get talent from a tier 3, tier 4 cities, which was not there earlier. So in coming year, 2023, I would see that from the entry level itself, from campuses, when people never thought of going to smaller places like Vijayawada, Trichy, or Aligarh, or small places in Madhya Pradesh or in Rajasthan, because there are talents in pockets which are available in smaller cities who used to migrate. Now they are available in that particular place. So in a way, we are going to attract a lot of talent from different geography. Also, uh, that is at the entry level. At the mid level also, people who have taken sabbatical or reluctant to come back to say, Chennai or Delhi or Mumbai, now ready to work from their native place. So that creates the situation has created a more diversified and a space where more inclusivity and diverse workforce will come to the industry.
So, Hina, what is your anticipation? How do you realize that which are the sectors, which are the emerging sectors where to see that there will be more jobs in 2023 in India?
So I would like to share 4 5 sectors where we see the trend is going to up and there will be a lot of opportunities. Renewable energies, if we talk about renewable energies, may include solar, wind, bio. Then second industry and sector would be Internet of the Things. When I talk about Internet of the Things, it would be anything and everything related to doing the things technology way. The best example would be an auto home wherein the AC and the security can be on the command of a digital journey. So that is what we talk about Internet of the Things. The third industry could be electronic learning. Everything in the e-way is the new way. It would not be only the education sector, but if we talk about seeing the learning for us to check upon and add on into the learning and development journey into the corporates would also be the electronic learning way. Another fourth industry which I see, of course, is the artificial and intelligence, AI. What we were talking about, everything cannot be covered via AI. In person, connect and touch is important, but the way we are expecting next 2 3 years, AI to go in is humongous. Fifth one is cloud. So this is what I can see across some of the industries, Ramesh.
Janani, what is your take on this? Which industries you see?
Sure, Ramesh. I think technology jobs across multiple sectors will definitely be booming this year more than the past year. Certainly in BFSI, healthcare domain, fintech, these are sectors where I think we will definitely have a lot of new opportunities. E-commerce also, because e-commerce you see is evolving very rapidly in terms of how much fast are they able to deliver, how accurately are they able to deliver, and everything is enabled through digitally again. So that's another area I think we will see growth. Beyond this, I think hyper automation is a big piece, and that is playing quite a bit in terms of wealth management in BFSI. So that's another area, at least I'm reading or hearing from my friends, that that will definitely grow. Smartness in everything, like Hina was pointing out, any organization that's working on making smartness in terms of, my organization, for example, works on making cities smart. There may be organizations that are making homes smart, cars smart, anything that's making the world smarter. So people are able to do lesser work, and therefore they're able to use their brains for higher order opportunities. Those sectors could crop up newly as well, and we may not be in a position to name them at this point of time. So that's another thing I thought I should add.
And I think we can also add the healthcare sector. Healthcare that may also that we can see a lot of jobs in healthcare sector as well in 2023. So I think we have covered this. So Vikram, I would like to come to you with the skills. What are the skills you think that would be in demand in 2023?
See, coming back to the major skills which will be in demand, let me start in a very interesting one in defense. Something, after this Ukraine war and global volatility, uncertainty in terms of China uh, and Taiwan conflict, and all those things are happening. There will be a lot of spend on defense and skills like geospatial technologies and drone technologies, because today, if you see, Russia is getting drones from Iran, and there is war happening through drones. So the organizations who are doing on vehicles or UAVs, okay, aerial vehicles, all those drone technology will be one of the hot jobs or hot skills in the coming days. Data science will be evergreen because whether drone or whether missile or whether even healthcare, the data scientist will be there forever because they have to crunch data, analyze the
Yes,
data.
that
So
is there
data
to be
scientists,
everywhere, in every sector. Every organization needs this.
absolutely, absolutely. So data is the hottest job, which will remain second year consecutively, according to my estimation. Third is yes, cybersecurity, because today we came across this issue in AIMS Delhi, how the records of patients have been hacked, and that kind of these are very critical things. Today it is hospital. Imagine if it happens in the your personal banking or in say the defense of the country. If this kind of thing happens, it is going to be a big disaster for many segments. So cybersecurity professionals will be on high demand. Coming back to again IoT, because many things like Janani was telling, smart technologies, smart homes, smart appliances, smart factories. So digital will come through IoT and blockchain. So IoT will be another key skill set which will be on high demand in 2023. Yeah, and finally, to integrate all those things, you need artificial intelligence and machine learning. So there will be a lot of computer vision and skills which are required to map data or get data through a lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies. So these are, in a nutshell, going to be the hot jobs in the market in 2023.
So generally, if we see that, if we look at the hiring process, so generally around 50% time that takes to identifying the candidate, and around 30% time to coordinate for the interviews and all, and rest around 20% time, if we see, that is for the negotiation of letters, etc. So where do you see the role of new technologies in coming year, which can which can be more, the focused, which are the new technologies, and how do the trend of the technologies in hiring in 2023?
Sure. I think AI is just everywhere. And AI can renew the experience of anybody who's experiencing it, because that's the closest to human language, right? Natural language processing, its ability to mimic human beings. So the industry has also, I think, very conveniently shifted in the last 2 years. Though we had difficulty, we have successfully moved in terms of focusing on candidate experience. And thanks to COVID, it did do many good things. One of it, prima facie, was in terms of how do we onboard the candidates we have already offered, and how do we further issue offer letters and manage the entire candidate life cycle virtually, was the first and foremost challenge, in addition to the health challenge that got through upon us 2 years ago, right? So I think now the openness and experience of these new varieties of ATS have already synced in a number of organizations. So if you ask me, in the coming year, the percentages that you quoted could change drastically. 60% of the time could be spent mostly on enhancing candidate experience with the help of technology, because I think the sourcing, screening, initial level of interviews, all of it could be taken care of by technology. AI, RPA, there are robots that can do your initial rounds of interviews. And then comes the actual interview, the technical interview that can happen with one of the technical managers. So the entire life cycle of recruitment itself can shrink, and recruiters and hiring managers can spend more time in terms of how the candidate's experience will be pre and post onboarding in an organization. I think that's going to be a very big shift. I'm already seeing it happening. Organizations that are doing it rightly are having better conversion rates as compared to their competitors. If there will be lesser opportunity for organizations to transform if we're not doing this, because like I was pointing out for one of my earlier responses, we are dealing with 50-60% of very young population who are having everything through their mobile app. So they want digital candidate experience, digital employee experience, digital candidate experience. That's the new norm. And therefore, we need to pull up our socks and make it happen if we want to attract the right candidates for us. And retailers.
Do you also think that we'll be able to start the metaverse for the meetings, for the interview meetings?
Absolutely, yes. I think some companies have started experimenting as well. I think the use case for metaverse is much beyond just the interviews. We can give a day in a life of an employee or to be employee in an organization. I think we'll be able to set up that through metaverse. We could give NFTs as awards. We could come up with a lot of gamification too. But obviously, all this will entail budget. I do not know due to the global changes that are happening, the funding winter that's happening. There will be implications in terms of the ability for organizations to spend on some of these things in this year. So metaverse definitely will be experimental for 2023, but 2024, if we are able to move forward swiftly, then I see metaverse to come into reality.
Vikram would like to add here something.
No, I'll second with Janani, and the challenge and the solution will be end to end. The experience will come. Today, if you ask me, there will be one agency will be doing sourcing, one agency will be doing employment verification or background verification. Somebody else will be doing interviews. There is no synchronization. But the coming days, the technology will be end to end, where starting from sourcing to interview process, offer letter to background verification will happen in one platform itself. I'll give you a classic example, like say Zomato. When no, you order food, no, they say the food is getting ready, the food is cooked, then the food is dispatched, like that. So the candidates will come to know that next the medical checkup or employment verification is happening. Next, your offer letter is under process. Your offer letter is released. That kind of machine learning and artificial intelligence thing will be coming in the through technology in the HR talent acquisition space. Why? Because the first impression lasts. When the candidate doesn't get a reply after 2 days or after a week, that what happened to his interview process, whether he's selected for the next round or not, the question mark starts, the ambiguity starts, the person starts disengaged, whether it is middle level or senior level. That transparency and that feedback mechanism should come automatically through this digital process and the portal or through platforms, where every day they know where is the status, where is the status of their employment, because it is going to be user friendly, user experience that will create the difference. Another point which I would like to add, Ramesh, here, we spoke about the candidate point of view. In terms of employer point of view, employer also would like to know the candidate's performance rating or performance appraisal, or what are the major achievements the person has done in 3-4 years. So there will be some startups or some portals where all these things will be available ready-made. I do not know whether people are already on the job on the HRIS part. If the employee self-voluntarily declares that he is rated or his performance level are at this, and the immediate superior also vouches that in the portal, it will be a game changer. The employer would like to see through various channels that with how the candidate has performed over the period of 2-3 years or 4 years, everything transparently available, and it is a part of blockchain. The blockchain in talent acquisition will be coming. That is the technology through which you will able to know the performance of the candidate over a period of 3 to 4 years to make the right decision, whether they're doing the correct person or they're hiring the correct person, will make their decision strong. These are my points, Ramesh, in the technology front in talent acquisition.
Great points, great points. I would like to share something.
So it's well covered by Janani and Vikram. Having a nurturing relation on the automation journey is foremost. Beyond this, I would like to add one or two points in terms of the talent acquisition trends. In addition to this, we need to see and prioritize our internal mobility and the talent, what is there. And when we say we need to prioritize this internal mobility, need to look at seriously that what are the career paths in aspects we can give to our internal talent, what is existingly available, which many of the organizations are doing, but we need to look from the different aspect to have this. Plus, what I feel, the renewed energy and focus on employee well-being and engagement can do the wonders in terms of the talent acquisition trends. Because it is so easy when we say we need to hire a talent from outside. Let's have a look and a stop back that how I can engage and retain my current talent is something what is there. We need to
Absolutely, that is
important.
increasing. That trend is increasing. Absolutely. So finally, Janani, if I ask, what are the top 5 talent acquisition trends you see for the 2023?
Top 5 trends. Okay, looks like a rapid fire. So number one is making the organization as an internal marketplace. Internal mobility becoming the highest focus. So upskill, reskill, otherwise perish. I think that has to be the tone within the organization as well, because we are in an ever-changing world. Number two, building very strong alumni connects, having strengthened returnship programs, very critical. Number three, we have to become creative in terms of specific skill-based hiring. Now, skill-based hiring, I think some organizations have started experimenting. They're not really bothered about what are the base qualifications. I know a lot of us think that we have to have BTech only, or this particular qualification only from these kind of tiered colleges only. I think our mindsets have to move because the skill crunch is so much that we need to experiment with skill-based hiring, at least in smaller ways, and then make it big if it works really well. The fourth trend is experiment more with part-timers, fixed-term hires, get women back from break, specifically plan for some trainings, especially in the middle layer, to attract women from the break. Because if you look at organizations, mostly we are able to manage the lowest level by hiring from campuses. The highest level, some of us are able to hire and manage, but the middle level, especially in managers, women are very weak in terms of numbers. Organizational metrics need to strengthen overall, and we are all competing in the same marketplace. So there are only very few women available. So it's important for us to tap into that pool, which is totally not used. And therefore, we need to invest in training women that are not part of our organization, but get them later. And beyond women, we should look at persons with disabilities, armed forces, veterans, LGBTQ community. I think we should definitely look at diversity from a much larger lens. So diversity hiring is my fourth trend. And finally, it's about becoming the hiring team becoming like salespeople, like Bikram was pointing out earlier, right? How do we think from a candidate perspective as well as from an organization perspective, end to end, and therefore provide that experience? So shifting to candidate experience by recruitment folks thinking like salespeople. That's like the last trend that I would want to call. It's like a rapid fire. So these are the top of the mind topics that I had, so I just pointed out.
Fantastic, fantastic, Janani. Vikram, would like to add here something?
Yeah, definitely. I'll bring different kind of rotation here. First of all, the hiring trend will be very short term. Earlier, we never heard that you will be hired for 1 month or 3 months, like gig workers. So organization will experiment. Organization will not take bet for 1 year, 2 year, long term kind of thing. Like employees or candidates are looking at 3 months, 6 months of horizon. Same way, organization also will start hiring for 1 month, 3 months. So what will happen? Your notice period will, drastically go down. Nobody will join, will ask for 90 days notice period. If the job is itself is for 3 months, how you expect 3 months notice? So like in other countries, US and all, 15 days or 1 week or 2 days notice period, that kind of thing will change. That is point number one. Point number two, as I said, experimentation will happen. A lot of CXO level hiring will happen on first come first serve basis. People will not wait for the best candidate. I will wait for 3 months, 6 months. The person will come. They'll say tomorrow I won't need the person. The management will ask tomorrow I need the person to be filled. So you have to get the person in 24 hours. How you can replace in 24 hours? You should come with your own ways and means how to recruit in 24 hours. That is going to be a big trend. Lot of redundancy will be there. Lot of CEO, CXO will be redundant because organization won't be able to pay that much of high salary, high cost, because there will be lot of cost optimization which will happen in 2023. So it's all first come first service basis. This is my point number two. Point number three, as Janani said, there will be a lot of returnership or ghar wapsi, as I said, that a lot of people will be asked to come back if they wish to come, because here loyalty and the people who work for the company, they know the culture, the kind of prospects the organization is having, so they will be more comfortable going to the organizations or comfort, or same way organization will be comfortable with employees whom they know in and out. So there will be a lot of boomerang employees or garwapsi. That is point number three. Point number four, it is again, little difficult in the sense that talent acquisition will take a little backseat. There will be more talent management will happening. Organization will focus how to groom talent within rather hiring, because if you hire, you do not know whether 1 month, 3 months the person will be there or not. So they will bet on people, existing employees. The investment will happen in existing employee, upskilling them, reskilling them, cross-skilling. That kind of thing happen. That is my point number four. Point number five, if I see in the job roles after COVID and all, it is like the person who is a generalist will be having advantage. The specialist thing will go, because organization would like to hire, or talents also want to go to do multitask, multi kind of roles. So the talent acquisition or the new hiring trend will be people with generalistic approach, whether it is HR or finance or in technology. If you can do multiple things, if a cyber security professional can do AI ML, they can do IoT, they will be on high demand, and organizations will be looking at multi-skilled and people who can do cross-functional things. That is going to be the latest trend.
Anything would you like to add here?
So just want to extend here what Vikram mean to say. It means transformation of each and every role in the organization. That is what is required. And that transformation has to, company and happen with the speed. So these are the two mantras in terms of the hiring trend we talk about. Transformation of every role into a new role, setting up, taking up the new responsibilities with a bundle of, multi-hatting. And the Gen Z factor is coming in. That means entering into the role which can happen at a fast speed. We can expect a virtual and fast-paced module. These are the two things, and I think other things have already been touched upon by Vikram and Janani. Still, I would like to touch the important factor, which I see from my eyes, is diversity and inclusion. Again, it's a very big term, diversity and inclusion, how the organization are seeing it is not only limiting it to hiring the ratios, but going beyond, hiring the special skill people, hiring the trans, gender hiring. When we talk about going beyond and extending our inclusions as an organization, that what set of challenges we have within the current set of staff and how we are expanding to have them into the inclusivity. So diversity and inclusion is beyond. Last but not the least, the data-centric trends, we will add on and focus more here. So that's all, Ramesh, from my side. Thank you.
If you see in last 2-3 years, there's a significant rise in demand of the Indian talent in global market. If we talk about the Europe, we talk about the Southeast Asian countries, even more European countries, if I say. So there's a rise of the Indian talent, and that is across the sector, and that is not also limited to the IT or tech industry only. That is also for the HR, also for the administration, also for the finance, for all the profiles. There is a demand. How do you see this is going to increase in 2023? What is your take on this?
Yes, the trend it talks about, and we are expecting this. The numbers and the positions in terms of the international market will continue to grow.
Any take your take, Vikram, on this?
No, I'll be having a different view on this. It will be like brain drain, reverse brain drain. So overseas citizens, Indians will come back to India. People, NRIs and OCIs, they will be coming back to India because a lot of jobs, as I said at the beginning, on-site jobs will be
That is
coming.
interesting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It will be coming back to India. So we'll see that, we have more Indians in India rather in
Janani, what
working.
is your take on this?
Yeah.
My take is the world is going to be a global village. I think it's already becoming like that. A number
Correct.
of organizations are operating very globally. Invariable of where will people work from, it has to be like, I need this particular skill and I need it in this cost. This is what I can pay. Wherever I get, it's invariable. Therefore, I think this trend will certainly continue. But what this will do to us is what we need to think of. Our competitors are going to be beyond the organizations that are operating only in India. There are organizations that are giving this $400,000 per year for certain jobs. We can never pay that in India, isn't it? But then it comes with other varieties of costs where 8 hours you're continuously monitored. There is a proctoring tool, etc., etc. But there are people who make those kind of choices. So we need to watch out for these and talk about advantages that our opportunities can provide. Long-term remote working versus hybrid working. I think we need to bring in those perspectives for different people that are potential candidates or potential employees for us. Therefore, we are able to attract some local candidates as well. But then, yes, short answer, it's going to continue. It will, I think it's just about filling the talent gap that's there everywhere. Wherever people are, I don't think organizations are going to mind too much.
So I think we have covered what the challenges would be for the 2023 in hiring space. So thank you so much, Vikram. Thank you, Janani, and thank you, Hina, for joining and for the conversation.
Thank you for the opportunity,
Thanks, Ramesh, for the opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Wonderful
Ramesh. Thank you,
meeting you,
Hina.
Hina
Thank you,
and
Janani.
Yeah, thanks, Janani and Vikram, likewise.